I would love a little cartoon of this little atom going through. I'm not kidding you, because it splits. Okay, so the hydrogen goes through to the fuel cell. It goes through the layers of the fuel cell, and it goes through, and it's split into positive and negative. And the electrons go to the battery to help with that, and the regenerative braking, and the positive propel the motor. When they meet up on the other side, hydrogen wants to gravitate to the biggest thing around, which is oxygen, and that's why it becomes H2O, and that's why it becomes water out of the tailpipe, and that's what makes it a zero-emission vehicle.
Welcome to the Go Electric Fleet Show. This is where we sit down and chat about EV fleets, infrastructure, and more. Join us as we explore EV fleets here in BC. When you think of what a clean, efficient, and model city of the future looks like, what do you imagine? Is it the buildings? The parks? The people? Sure, but what about the vehicles? The cars, the buses, the trucks, and even the trains? Changing how we get around is going to be key to achieving the zero-emission future of our dreams. To focus on just one part of that picture, though, let's talk about zero-emission trucking and logistics. You might not really think too much of it, but do you consider all the emissions from all of those long-haul, last-mile, and in-between trucks and vehicles? According to the province of British Columbia, as of 2021, the heavy transport sector alone was responsible for close to 6 megatons of CO2 emissions per year. You'll be glad to know then that zero-emission trucking isn't something in the far-flung future. It's rolling right now, right here in British Columbia. Hydrogen fuel cell electric trucks are being deployed and tested to meet the demands of real-world commercial operators. Hydrogen fuel cell electric trucks, or HFC trucks for short, offer fast refueling, long range, and lower emissions, all without the performance drawbacks that some traditional battery EVs may encounter.
This is our Hyundai Accent. It is the model year 2024. You'll have 10 cylinders for hydrogen here of gaseous hydrogen. It fills at 700 bar. This truck happens to be a cab over. It's an unusual sight here in British Columbia, but it's very easy to operate. It's like driving an SUV. I have to say that I have driven another one of these Class 8 trucks, and it is very easy to operate. The cab over is very easy to tilt. You want to do your pre-checklist, it's very easy to do. So one thing I do want to mention on this truck, it is very heavy on that front axle weight. So we have very special letters of authorization from CVSE to allow these trucks to operate in British Columbia. This is an electrochemical reaction in the fuel cell, so it's a little bit different. There's less moving parts. It has 9,000 moving parts as opposed to a diesel truck of 25,000 moving parts. So there's a lot of really key differences. The torque is all there, the power is there. It is a great alternative, a zero-emission vehicle for Canada's climate.
So we've seen how it looks, we have an idea of how it works. Now, let's try and answer the question that all these up-and-coming alternatives to heavy-emission transportation are looking to answer. Why? Why hydrogen? BC, the place we call home, can be a grueling challenge for on-the-road fleets. Our province spans thousands of kilometers across wildly different terrains and climates that can change in a matter of minutes or just around the next bend. BC is a lot for any vehicle to handle, but HFC trucks make an extremely compelling case, especially for regional hauling, 24/7 fleet use, and rapid turnarounds.
If you look at fuel cell electric vehicles, when the hydrogen is produced from low carbon intensity sources as ours is, you can do on a unit by unit abatement, 92% emission reduction on GHGs by using that vehicle. So it's quite a significant drop.
I will say that hydrogen is great for the colder climates because you can run the truck, and at the end of doing your operations, it vents all the water out of the tailpipe. And by doing that venting, there will be no freezing in the pipes, there'll be no freezing within the system. And so that when you go to start it up the next day, there won't be any issues on starting it up.
Just because an HFC truck is able to handle some of the worst conditions BC has to offer, doesn't mean that the journey thus far, and coming up, has been a simple one. There's a lot that goes into pushing this technology along, as is the case with all maturing technologies. From firmware updates to regulatory compliance, it's a hands-on transition to say the least.
We take these trucks, we purchase them, we get them ready with CVSE and Transport Canada. We make sure that they meet all regulations and are compliant for fleets, and then we lease them to fleet operators throughout the region.
Vehicle Leasing Corporation provides competitive full-service, full support leases for fleet operators looking to bring hydrogen-powered vehicles into their commercial fleets. There's a good donut here that kind of describes what that is on a point-by-point basis. It's all bundled together, and we take care of it all in-house. So vehicle selection and procurement, that's on HTEC. The infrastructure, the fueling solution, that's on HTEC, so you don't have to worry about putting in any infrastructure of your own at your location or wherever you're running the trucks from. Maintenance and OEM support. So we deal directly with the OEMs kind of on a dealership style level. So we take care of all that centerpiece as well. Funding and the leases. So the trucks are, more expensive than the incumbent technologies out there. And we reduce that to a level that's supportable by fleets and operators in the Lower Mainland. We apply, we've been awarded a great deal of government incentive and government support, along with the traditional way that you would fund one of these vehicles, IMH, ZEV, Clean BC. Take all that and apply that in-house to support a lease payment that's similar to what you'd expect to see on a diesel. We also take care of all the driver training. So we bring the drivers up to speed.
Some of the potential early adopters for these HFC trucks could include waste removal and recycling firms, as well as municipalities preparing for zero-emission mandates. There's a lot going for HFC trucks for these groups especially.
Some other driver benefits that we're finding through getting drivers behind the wheel, things that are kind of intangibles but make a big difference when you're spending your day behind the steering wheel. Instant e-motor torque, so we're not waiting for the turbo to spool up on a diesel. You get as much torque as the electric motor is going to produce right off idle, so it's available to you right at start. Quiet and efficient, there's no vibration, so it's lower fatigue, that kind of an intangible that has an effect over the time.
Our transport methods all require their own particular pieces of infrastructure. ICE vehicles or internal combustion engine vehicles need gas and diesel stations, EVs need chargers, and of course HFC trucks need their own fueling hubs and fuel distribution networks. BC is actively building out that necessary infrastructure to support hydrogen at scale. This transition can't rely on a bare-bones infrastructure network. There are thousands of heavy-duty vehicles on the roads right now that could switch over to hydrogen, and that building and transition process starts now.
This is a little slide on how we start and support and grow the network. The first two kind of blue bars here are our first 12 vehicles that we're bringing in for our two separate projects, Port Project and Pilot Project. Those are some of the vehicles you see outside are for those projects. We've kicked all that off. The main trigger right now is the finalization of our heavy-duty refueling station. And what that entails is our Tawasin, the completion of our Tawasin station, and the ability to fuel all 12 trucks from that facility in Q3 this year. Those two projects build into our kind of cornerstone program, which is the H2 Gateway program. So some of you may have heard of this program through other announcements that HTEC has done, but essentially from a vehicle perspective, it's a ramp to 100 vehicles locally supported here. I do have a map a little bit later on that shows where that expansion takes place and out to, but it's kind of our cornerstone project that we build the infrastructure towards and build the vehicle adoption towards to get there. So the other item that's critical in Q3 25 is that we're doing, we'll be turning on our 1 ton per day electrolyzer at our facility on Trapp Avenue in Burnaby. So that's kind of at the same time as the station opens. It's also supported by a redundant source of liquid hydrogen that we have on site that can supply third-party hydrogen as needed in case the electrolyzer were to go down or whatever. We do have a redundancy built into the system. Second station is scheduled for Q3 26, and that's going to be located in Burnaby, just around the corner, if not the same site as the electrolyzer. So down on Willard Street, which is near Trapp. Okay, this is a quick map of geographically where we are. So these first icons here identify where our light duty stations are. And then relative to those, where the electrolyzer and the heavy duty station will be going. Our cornerstone, again, of the H2 Gateway project is the liquefier that we're building out in North Vancouver. That's going to be a 15 ton per day capture and transfer into liquid form, which we'll be able to distribute around the Lower Mainland into Alberta.
We're ready. I can't wait to see these on the road. I can't wait to see them on Highway 1. I can't wait to see them delivering zero emissions and meeting those sustainability goals for not only for government targets, but also customers' targets. They want to reduce and keep their footprint green as well.
Hydrogen trucking is actually here, and with integrated support, real vehicles on the streets, real fueling infrastructure on the ground, and new modern fleets, the path to clean freight has never been clearer. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more updates on fleet electrification and other sustainable transportation solutions. Thanks for watching the Go Electric Fleet Show.